The headlines: several students injured as ZR overturns, customs to go mobile on the Revenue Authority, and Barbados women lose in Caribbean basketball. Welcome to Nation News for Tuesday, June the 9th, 2015. At least 10 Spray Memorial students were injured when a route taxi overturned along Nursery Drive, the approach road opposite Queen's Park that leads to the river bus stand. One of the girls is said to be critically injured after being pinned under the van. Eyewitnesses said the vehicle was making its way into the terminal when it leaned on the side and then overturned, skidding a short distance. It was returned to an upright position by bystanders. One said it was customary to see PSVs driving recklessly in the area every afternoon and called on police to do something about the situation. Chris Sinclair says mobile units will be an integral part of the new External Taxes and Border Control Division. That's what a reluctant Customs Department will become when it's integrated within the Revenue Authority. The Finance Minister says the mobile teams will be critical to improving border security.
The question of mobile teams, in my view, enhances the operation of customs because it gives them the opportunity to take staff around Barbados in areas that they currently do not now cover. And we know that apart from the general ports of entry and so forth and so on, there are other areas in Barbados where guns and drugs and other nefarious types of activities and stuff comes into Barbados, and we need to be able to cover that.
Mr. Sinclair was speaking following the launch of Scotiabank's new financing initiative for small and medium-sized businesses. There could soon be one fewer primary school. That's because the Chalky Mount School in St. Andrew will likely be abandoned because the building has been condemned as structurally unsound, as the land on which it stands is proven to be unstable. As a temporary measure from tomorrow until the rest of the term, classes will be held at the Wesleyan Church and the Mount Zion Seventh-day Adventist Church in the district. From September, Chalky Mount pupils will be attending the DeCosta Edwards Primary School in Belle Plaine. Minister of Education Ronald Jones told a town hall meeting on Monday evening that safety had to come first, even though the change would disrupt the Hilltop St. Andrew community. Common entrance results will be out on Wednesday. We can reveal just over 3,500 children took the exam, which determines where they will spend their secondary education. Prominent social activist George Griffith has revealed he is strongly opposed to flogging of children, especially in schools. The longtime social worker and former director of the Family Planning Association said caning is a responsibility no teacher should want, and the society needed to find better ways of communicating with adolescent children.
What we have done with our children and our failure sometimes to find a better way of communicating with our children, of getting our children to do those things that we believe they should do and are in their best interest. We always take the shortcut. We feel a slap around your head or a cuff on your back or lash with whatever we can put our hands on will solve the problem, and it does not.
Mr. Griffith was speaking Monday night at a town hall meeting organized by the National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations for parents of children who recently sat the common entrance. Up next is Hayden Gill with this week's commentary.
It seems in Barbados that we prefer to wait until we are in a crisis situation before we act. A senior official in the Ministry of Agriculture has sounded a warning that the sector is facing serious challenges. Most of the farmers are aging, and the profession holds little appeal to young people. This is alarming but not surprising. Little has been done to protect the livelihood of farmers. Predial larceny continues to be a major headache, but nothing has been done to curb it. What has happened to the Agriculture Master Plan that was supposed to regulate food production and lower the food import bill? Why are supermarket shelves so full of food that can be grown here? We are facing a deeper crisis than aging farmers. A nation that cannot feed itself is at the mercy of everyone.
In sport, Barbados women have lost their first game at the Caribbean Championships, the basketball championships in Tortola. They went down 75-57 to defending champions Jamaica. Jamila Studer and Maria Kabambach led Barbados with 13 points each, and Tony Atherley finished with 12. West Indies leg spinner Devendra Bishu entered the top 50 of the ICC rankings for test bowlers following an outstanding bowling performance in the first test against Australia in Dominica last week. Bishu climbed 10 places to 43rd after first innings figures of 6 for 80. And finally, imagine being paid to do job number 2. That's what's happening in India's 7th largest city, which has announced that residents will be paid each time they use public toilets in a bid to curb public urination and defecation. 1 rupee will be given to each person who uses the toilets. 3 Barbados dollars will get you 100 rupees, to give you an idea of the currency. Officials said they plan to advertise the scheme at locations known to be hotspots for public defecation. Yes, millions of Indians do expel their waste in the open, a serious cultural problem for the country. And that's Nation News for Tuesday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com as well as YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. And remember to pick up your Midweek Nation on Wednesday or subscribe to our e-paper. Thanks for joining us.